Greetings to all my comrades of the APC. Me na comrade Owen Kasu, and this na the APC online TV platform, the mouthpiece of the diaspora. This na the program we then call the one-to-one upfront interview with comrade Owen Kasu to all the comrades that will aspire for various positions then within the APC. As we all know, we always see flyers then they go all over the place for positions there within the APC. The UK and Ireland don't take the lead forget women aspirants them. They aspire for very, very positions them within the APC. Well, not surprised because APC, UK&I, a place where they open the space, the political space for women them for participate. Women they don't jump the 30% threshold. They go above the men them in aspiring for various and very, very key positions them. Well, we get another female aspirant who they aspire for a position. This person, a person we all sabi, we all love, a beautiful lady within at the social media. We don't work for the APC. Don't work on behalf, we don't advocate for the people of Sierra Leone. It don't do quite a lot of things then. Well, make you not surprise you now if you not see they aspire for a key position within the APC. Comrades of the APC, I want make we comrade, we guests come live and say hi to Una. Over to you.
Good evening, comrades all. My name is Miata Unita Bahinga, aka Sweet Bonita.
Miyata Onita Bahinga, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Wonderful. That is a beautiful name. Sweet Bonita, aka Sweet Bonita. Una all sabi the household name Sweet Bonita. Nobody know they go doubt this lady. Now it aspire for a position within the APC. Please, Sweet Bonita, remind us what position you're aspiring for.
Well, I'm aspiring for the deputy chairperson for the London chapter.
The London chapter. Here you go again. You see, the UK and Ireland women they come out daily. They come in, they aspire for key position them. You know, the vice chairman of the London chapter, big position, the biggest chapter in the UK and Ireland, the London chapter. And Sweet Bonita thinks she's the right person for this position. Well, a lot of people go want to know about Sweet Bonita, more about Sweet Bonita. They don't see her at the TV platform every weekend. People then they send messages them. If they don't see Sweet Bonita, they go begin to wonder what's happen. Now, Sweet Bonita, people they want to get to know a little bit more about you. What have you got to say? What have you got to tell us about yourself? Where do you hail from?
Well, originally I'm from the southeast, but again, if
Okay.
we start going into historical, I'm from the north, from Putloko precisely. But I was
Okay.
born in Kailaung, Bonobo, and moved down to Bo, which is where I went to school. I've lived in Connaught as well. So we're one of the people that were eating the MDMC money. So if I tell you MDMC, you know how. But whilst we were in Bo, I went to the police barracks primary school. Later, moved into Methodist primary school and went to also MCA in McCaney. During the war, moved down to Freetown, went to St. Helena, and moved down to the UK. And I went to also now called the Wilson Academy, but by then it was called Wilson High School. That's all the way in North London. And later resigned from education. 2011 went back into education with international ICT and international development. That was a combined and finished that. As Sweet Bonita is, I have four beautiful children. That's who I am. And they have not stopped me to participate in politics in any way. So I can say that's a brief summary of Sweet Bonita so far.
Okay. Sweet Bonita, you were born in Bunungu, and that is a famous place in Sierra Leone. When I used to be a young man, I used to hear people are talking about Bunungu Teachers College, a very famous um, academy for teachers. And I was privileged to visit there. And when we stopped one night in that place, and they told me this is Bunungu. So the first thing that came to my mind is Bunungu Teachers College. So I started asking the people, where is Bunungu Teachers College? And you see, and you see so people are pointing over there. They say, oh, it's the open, blah, 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 you know. So it was a very good experience for me. You were born there and then you moved to Bo and then you lived in Connaught and then you came to Freetown, spent some time in Freetown and then came to the UK and then graduated in ITC and international development. Wow. Well, you have four beautiful kids.
Yes.
You look like a teenager, Sweet Bonita. I don't know why. Anyways, Sweet Bonita, why are you aspiring for this position?
Well, I'm aspiring for this position based on our March 7, 2022 constitution, which had the age bracket to who can aspire being a youth. So I had to move. So even when I was telling people, well, I'm no longer within the youth, they're like, how comes? Like, because I'm not. So I plan to vote for wanting to aspire for another position. But again, when it comes to politics and you work with other comrades, there's a bit of negotiation for you to see where you don't want to have a clash with people on position. So I had to say, well, let me come back to London. I was moving down to the diaspora, but I decided to stay back home, come to London, and then I decided to vouch for the deputy chairperson for the London chapter.
So, after several consultations behind the scenes with comrades, so you finally settled for the position of the vice chairman of the London chapter.
Yes.
Right. Do you know anyone else aspiring for that position?
At this minute, I'm not sure because the person that for some reason let me don't comment because I will not want to say because they are going for one coming back going, so I don't want to say. There is somebody.
Okay. Well, if anybody is vying for that position, well,
Yes.
I don't know. If anyone is vying for it, it's gonna be a problem, man. Sweet Bonita. So, um, the women's, the deputy, the vice chairman position has some kind of responsibilities. Supporting the chairman, supporting the agenda of the chairman. You know, representing the leadership when the chairman is not there, you know, shadowing the chairman sort of sometimes, making sure that the vision and the aspiration and the focus of the chairman is always intact. You support the chairman, in all the things they do. And have you engaged with the potential chairman? Have you got somebody who is aspiring for that position that you already started aligning yourself with? Or you're just aspiring for that position, you don't know yet who is going to be or who you want or intend to deputize?
Well, to be honest, when it comes to who is aspiring for the chairman, I've had few names. And one of the thing also I'm trying to do is I don't want to step into anybody's toes because I am ready and willing to work with anyone that emerge as the chairman because at the end of the day, this is politics and we're not getting paid for it. We need to have respect for one another. And most people are bringing out their manifesto, what they want. And we are looking at things to say, okay, yes, it do work. I think we can tweak it this way. Because again, it's a matter of compromise and negotiation because we'll be working with people. And the only thing that is not injustice change. So definitely there will be room for some amendment on their manifesto that they want to use.
So basically, you're just waiting. Whoever wins that position, you try to support them with all your skills, with all your experience, so that they can succeed. I'm not sure if um, their ideologies or their focus will be the same as yours, or maybe something that you will not be in agreement. How are you going to be able to like merge together or get into an agreement with that person so that you can both work together instead of somebody seeing you as a saboteur? A lot of people will say, "Oh, this my vice is undermining me." Or is doing short and short things, backstabbing me, and all these sort of things. These things happen, in most leadership roles. And you're looking to support the person. But if your ideologies are not the same, then a clash, happens to occur. How are you going to try and stay focused and support that person so that you can move the branch forward?
Okay, again, as I've said, it's like this is why at this particular minute, I'm not going to say I'm supporting this person, because tomorrow, in case that person did not emerge, it'd be like you never wanted to work with me. So I want it to be like I am ready to work with anyone. And again, as I've said, people will bring in their own manifesto, and we have to work together as a team, because sometimes what you think might work for everybody will not be what will work. So we have to come together and also look at how we will move things in a better way. Because again, if we're all aware, the London chapter is going to be one of the biggest chapter within the UK&I. So we need to be a top notch. We need to cross our T's and dot our I's, because all eyes are going to be on us. So
Yeah.
definitely in that instance of me fighting my chairman, I don't think that's something that we're going to do, because no matter what it is, I will try my best to work with them, because sometimes
Okay.
people are difficult, but definitely I have this people skills perch, so I don't just jump into conclusion. We talk. We need to come together to make decision, because you can't just make all the decision, especially when it's not going the right way.
Sweet Bonita,
Yeah.
you are, I would say, an activist. We've seen you on so many occasions taking lead in demonstrations, advocating for human rights. We've seen you single-handedly going on Facebook, bringing out certain issues of human rights abuses in our country. And you've made name in all of these things. And you're so passionate about all of these things. Why didn't you continue being that wonderful activist advocating for human rights and the rule of law, and you want to come into politics?
Well, I am still going to continue. It's not politics going to take it away from me. No, I've said this before. My aspiration to take part in politics, it has or will not affect my activism at all. Because one thing I know, we are here to work for the people. So if things are going on, which is not why I said I will, because for me, I will call things by their names.
Okay.
And if somebody knows me, then you know that we need to work in unison. I'm not coming to be like, oh, it's just my way. No, it's a teamwork. But if I know it's going to affect another person's life, then definitely I will not be party to it.
Okay. So, Bonita, the party you're aspiring to for a position for is the APC. Supposing APC comes to power and do something which is, against the rights of a citizen or something like that, would you step up and try to advocate on behalf of those people?
Yes, I will. I have said that before, Comrade and Castle. You know, one thing I do, as I'm happy that you mentioned that I am an activist. And since 2017 till date, everything I've said have come to pass. And one thing I've always said, if the political party that is in opposition at this minute is going through similar situations and they've been advised, because if you look at the current administrations, people will go forward and tell them, oh, what you're doing is wrong. They will ignore, in fact, do worst. So some political party, I'm sure the mighty APC will be able to say, if people come and call things by their name, they'll be like, oh, we need to stop this. Because one thing I always say is if something is going to happen to another person, I always take it in turns. If it was me or my family or my relative or my friend, how would I react? So for me, that's how my advocacy always work. I'm putting myself in those people's position or putting my loved ones in those positions. If it's something that it's a no, 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 then I need to stand up for anyone.
Okay.
So I
Right.
need to be honest with everyone. That's what I'm gonna be. I'm an activist, and that cannot be taken away from me. Because if it means that means I've lost one part of myself.
Okay. So, Sweet Bonita, you have been an integral part of the successes of the APC online TV platform, the mouthpiece of the diaspora. You are a co-host in the flagship Sunday show, and you take part in several media activities for the APC. You are a very, very important individual. How can you share your service to the media team and the position you're aspiring for? Are we going to lose that sweet bonita we used to have at our disposal whenever we need sweet bonita to come in?
Online TV platform will not be losing Sweet Bonita, because when it comes to the position that I'm going for is still within the APC. So mostly there have been situations where their functions will be like, I don't think I can make it because I have the online TV. And when we talk about the online TV, that is the face of the APC within the diaspora. And we're seeing people from all over the world are using our platform. So in another way, that is one of the way for us to showcase our work. And I'm sure the London chapter will benefit more. No discrimination, but definitely I'll be using the London chapter as a case study on things that we are doing, things that are going right, and also asking other chapters to try and implement. Because again, as I've said, this is about negotiation. We need to talk and share ideas. So it's not just about London, it's about the APC as a whole. So for
Okay.
me, I want the APC online TV platform to be rest assured. You still have Sweet Bonita. She's not going anywhere, and she'll be ready.
Okay. Um, I interviewed one of our comrades recently by the name of Mustafa Isaac Conte, aka Putlokobo. He said to me the age gap, the age brackets of the youthful people in the APC, is now between 18 to I think 37 or 35. And now there's a huge vacuum because of the new constitution being implemented. Now, unfortunately, there isn't enough youthful people to come in, including yourself. You were in the youth. You wanted to aspire for a youthful a position in the youth league or in the youth wing, and now you've moved off because of your age. So, how can you help bring young people, particularly women, in the youth wing so that that vacuum can be, closed up?
Well, again, that is something that we've been doing prior to me moving, or for the age gap to come into effect as of 7th of March 2022, because we are doing more of recruitment of young people. As I've said, I got four beautiful children. Three are within or almost within the age gap of becoming a youth. So definitely these are my first introductions towards the APC, and my children are able to sing the party song. So at least they will not just go in there as novice, they know something about the party. And when it comes about membership drive, this is something that we've been going into the community, speaking to our relatives, because one thing I've said also, like in the beginning, I mentioned that I am putting other people in my own loved one's position. If I think is wrong, why would I bring my kids? If I think is wrong, why would I ask my cousins, my aunties, children to come in? It's because I know we can make change. And the slogan for the youth was aspiring politicians. So it's an institution for aspiring politicians. It's like we've been nurtured and we get the inclination of our political party before we even take a center stage. So we will continue to do a membership drive. And even though we are not within the youth, we will still do that, because at the end of the day, we want to have the legacy to say, after this dispensation of X, Y, and Z, these were the next that took over, and this is where they are. So again, this is why I said earlier, I am grateful for the leadership that I've been under, Malcolm Conte and Adams Bangura, because they have been telling us that we should be able to encourage others to take part. Those that are not able to support them, to encourage them, because not everybody want to be on the limelight. So some people just want to be at the back, but still we encourage them to know that they are part of us. And also, when we are bringing our children, not everybody wants to be in front. Some of them just want to be in the middle. Some of them want to be at the back. We still have to encourage them, because if we don't do that, then that means, as you said, there's a big vacuum and it will remain like that. We don't want that to happen. We don't want that.
Indeed, it's I think it should be your responsibilities because you were serving in the youth wing, and if you guys have moved up to to other positions outside the youth wing, I think it's your responsibility to recruit young people to fill those positions and try to fill those vacuums. But anyway, the name of Malcolm Conte and of course Adams Pangura keep resonating with many of you during these interviews. These two gentlemen, they've been, you know, fantastic in the dispensation of their positions and their jobs and whatever they do. Um, I'm not sure because they're all aspiring. If for instance one of them is not lucky to be elected in the positions, would you be disappointed? And how much of an effect would that be to us as a chapter?
Well, to be honest, it will be a very great disappointment. Again, it's an election. People will go out to vote. This is why we are encouraging everyone to pay up their membership so that they will be eligible to vote and to be voted for. Because there's going to be a point where one person or both of them are going to come victorious. But no matter what the outcomes of the election is going to be, we still have to remain as a family. And I'm sure this is why both of them will say is when you are doing your campaign, don't try to slender the next one. And the point that if you lose or you win, you will not be able to reconcile. So we have been very, very careful on what to say and what not to say,
Indeed.
when to say it and when not to say it. Because
Mm.
in life, they said what you say to somebody, it's something that somebody can hold on to for a very long time. They will not let go. And it can sting through somebody's heart. You don't know. So we gotta be very, very careful what we say, when we say it, and why we are saying it.
Indeed, because we are all under the same umbrella of the APC, and it would be wrong while we're campaigning as comrades. We don't trample on the nerves of other people just because we think we have an edge over them, or because they have a negative part of them that we've seen and we're trying to blow it out of proportion just to get at them. At the end of the day, we still need those people to hold hands together, raise our hands together, and sing the victory song. Is that right?
Oh, yes.
Fantastic. Well, now the APC London chapter. We've never had a London chapter before. This is the first time we are having a chapter in London. How do you envisage the London chapter? How do you see this chapter? You know, performing. Would it be better than the Bristol chapter, or the Reading and Oxford chapter, or the Manchester chapter? How do you envisage it in terms of performance?
Honestly, I would not want to compare the other chapters to the London chapter, because one thing we can always remember, the London chapter has the biggest membership. And them having the biggest membership can also be where we'll have so many um, issues, because people will have different ideas or opinions which will bring a clash. For example, like there's 17 positions. London, let's say we have about 1,000 membership, and then 100 of it are going for a position. That is not the case when it comes to Bristol or Manchester or Midlands. So everything we are doing, London is always going to be the eye, and London is the center of everything. So we're trying to maintain that position that we will be on top, not in a bad way, but in a very positive way. And also giving a helping hand to the other regions, because as we know, not so many people are there. So we'll always support them. And I'm happy also now that London is here as a chapter on its own, and the rest of the other regions also are there. So there's going to be that kind of a competition within ourselves. But everyone knows London is going to be victorious when it comes to whatever that it has to be.
Well, you sound very, very confident for a chapter that is like a newborn baby. We've had Bristol chapter been going for over 10, 12 to 15 years. We've had Manchester, we've had you know, um, the Midlands, Oxford, and Reading. They've been going on. They've been looking after themselves all these years. And London is just emerging as a chapter. And like you rightly said, because of the population, because of the differences in the ideology, or the, what you call it, the amount of people with their differences, may cause a lot of problem for us. And I, I'm not quite sure whether we will be having that capacity to handle our problems without the support of the other chapters, who have been there for so many years, and I'm sure they will be there to support us, and we'll be needing their support. Don't you think so?
Well, definitely we will need your support. But one thing you also want to remember is when it comes to politics, there's no new kids on the block. London is like, let's say, the youth league, former youth league. So
Okay.
they have been nurtured enough. They know they know the pros and cons of the party. It's not
Okay.
like they are new coming as a new. No, no, no. It's just a new name given to them, but they have been in existence. People
Wow.
have refused before to acknowledge London as a chapter, because they know of the strength that it will have compared to all of the rest of the region. So now that London is a chapter, it's even going to be more threat to the rest of the region, because they all know, they might say London just become, but London has been there before them. Everything
Yeah.
happens is within London. So London is not new. London has always been there. It's just like now London is like, you know what, I need to take myself up and stand and pat my shoulder and let the game begin. So this is why, and if you look, most of the aspiring candidate for the London are from the youth league. So you see, it's like they are not new. This is the former executive coming, just growing up. It's like we've been graduated. So
Hmm.
London is not new. I don't want the other regions thinking that, oh, London is a new. No, we are not new. I'm sorry to say, but we are not new.
Well, I think it will appear as if it's a competition or threat to those who have been complaining about the London centric sentiment, in some of us who live in London. Those in Manchester, those in Bristol, always going on about London centric, everything about UK and Ireland is just London, London, London. What would you say to people like that? You are not amateur politicians, you are well seasoned politicians being trained by Malcolm Conte and Adams Bangura. If anyone comes through that academy, he's not a joker politician. He must be a well-seasoned politician. So those in the peripheries, in the regions, the other chapters would definitely be jealous of you. So that London-centric thing, you know, will still be coming up, in them complaining that you are too London-centric and stuff like that. So and you are just exhibiting that here.
Commander Castle, you look like when we go to the region for, let's say, a general meeting or for any functions, when you count 20 Londoners, then you look for one regional person. Even
Mhm,
when they are the host,
mhm,
we still dominate them in their own areas.
mhm,
We went to Manchester,
mhm,
we went to Oxford.
mhm,
So every functions we've gone there,
mhm,
we have to take how many coaches to go there. When
mhm,
the region is coming, it's one coach. When London is going, it's like three, four, five coaches.
mhm.
And remember, people will still drive because not everyone will go on the bus. So people will still drive. So it's not like centric, or do we say in London centric? Because we are the majority. And we've also tried to exhibit the thing of comradeship, like we will come down your side, do functions, we come. But if they can be honest, they've seen that every time we come, we are more than them. Even when it's just a handful of Londoners choose to go, we are still more than them in their own locations. So it's just something they need to accept that London is the head.
Okay.
So they should
Yeah.
accept and we move on as comrades. It's no comparison. We're not saying they are less important. No, that's not what we're saying. It's just that we have more population within London compared to them. So that's why mostly, like we say, if they come, even when let's say three or four of them come, we still are more than them. So this is the
Okay.
thing that they should always bear in mind. And you can't always be taking everybody down to you alone. And I'm
Okay.
sure that's the complaint that will be, oh, why everything is in London? Because London is where everybody is, where everything happens.
So,
Without London, nothing else is happening. Let's be honest.
Sweet Bonita, we've noticed quite recently that there are so many female aspirants popping up for positions within the APC UK and Ireland. What is the reason for that? Why is that happening of late?
Well, the reason for that is women, we have taken upon ourselves that now we should vie for positions. And especially when we know we are able to execute those positions. Because you look at things before, a female will be like, oh, they will not even look at me. But again, if you look at March 7, um, new constitution 2022, we have a 30%. And for me, I'm appealing to every female, every woman to please apply for more so that they can raise the bar. Because if we look down to our population, we are more, there are more women than men. So why would we have 30%? They have 70. It's not possible.
So, are
It's
you
not
saying,
possible.
insinuating that the men are not good enough?
Far from it. But they should
Okay.
not just be the ones sitting there all the time. There should be
Okay.
where there says a chairman, there is a chair lady sitting there.
Okay. That's good. That's good. Sweet Bonita, um, of course, you are an activist. You've been to so many demonstrations in this country about human rights abuses in Sierra Leone and other parts of the world. You've been an advocate for women. Today, we still have people being under police custody since August 10th when they were arrested. They're still there detained. They take them to courts every week and they send them back. They keep adjourning. And everybody was expecting that the president would have at least by now, the last year of his term is going in June, he would have at least pardoned or released those women and those young people. Just on Friday gone, one of the boys, a young man, died under police custody. So these are things that are quite, you know, excruciatingly causing pain in the hearts of Sierra Leoneans who they haven't got much to do. How do you feel about this, and what sort of actions would you take when you come in as vice chairman of the London chapter?
Well, again, Comrade Awankesu, as I said, my activism is not going to stop because I am the vice chairman of the London chapter. It's something that will continue. And again, people that were arrested for the incident from the 8th of August till I can say the 14th, because that was when they killed one of our comrade, Evangelist Sampson, which up to this day, some of us are still. I don't want to. I don't even know the word to express it because it's so sad and pathetic. Like we don't know what this current administrations are doing. As I've said, they are an administration that is not willing, ready to listen to the people because you are there to protect the lives and properties of people. But when it comes to this administration, it's the opposite. They are there to destroy and kill people. And we've seen that, which is being recorded live. And again, we have people like these journalists that will refuse to comment and will make complaints. Like for me, as you said, being an advocate, will write letters to, let's say, the BBC, the CNN, the Al Jazeera, the ABC News, and explaining things, sending evidence, photographic evidence or video evidence to say this is what that has happened, this is what is happening. And they'll be waiting for one journalist that they are paying to just confirm, and they will refuse to comment. I think it was until the August 8, 9, 10, let's say till the 14th incident that they have now decided to listen to people like us that will go to them and report issues because they were not being made up. These are facts and these are evidence based report. We've seen where a journalist is standing, in fact, giving instruction to the police officer to kill, shoot, or hurt a civilian that is unharmed. If that was not captured live, it would have been like, oh, it's just a propaganda. It's not true. It never happened. So many incidents have happened. We've got the Pandemba Road, the Tonkolimba, the Tumbo, the Lonsha, the Kabbalah, the McCaney. So many incidents have happened in Sierra Leone. That's just for me naming few. And you will see these journalists will refuse to comment. Why? Because at the end of the day, they receive a brown envelope from the administration, so they don't care. Their wives or family members are working in position of trust. So if they are to say X, Y, and Z, they will just lose their position. So they will refuse to say. So people like us will still continue to advocate. The day the incident happened, August 10 in Freetown, I was outside the embassy in England. We were protesting there. When we received calls, we had to show it live to the police officers that were protecting us. Says, look, this is what is happening in our country now. Now, that was why you find out on that August 10, there was no way they would lie because there were evidence to the effect. We were here and we were telling them this is what they do to our people. And within a couple of hours, it happens. So that shows that we are not just going out to, because some people say, oh, because you don't have nothing to do. I have a lot to do. I have 4 children. I have work and I have education to do. So I have things to do. But my people's life is more important. And this is something that we should not stop. We should continue to protect because this administration they are not fit for purpose. You said the mandate of the current administration will come in June. No, it's ending March. The latest is April. From April, everybody is free to go out. All his entourage that he has going around will be cut down. It will be the same as any other flag bearer in the country. So let's say when that time comes, what will be of them? Because they've done things unconstitutionally every day and every night. And even when you advise, when you speak, they will just ignore. When things go out of hands, then they'll be like, oh, we didn't think. You didn't think because you were not even bothered. You did not even care. Because in life, if you're in a position where somebody's advising you, you need to listen, take it and see where you will go. But they have refused, or let me say, Mother Bill has refused to take any help, support from opposition. He doesn't even care. And every
Okay.
people that he has run himself with are not even fit for purpose. We'll see that in every area of his administration, in
Okay.
every area.
All right. So, Sweet Bonita, um, the UK and Ireland um, elections are coming soon. And currently, it is not an hidden secret that negotiations are going on behind closed doors all over the place on a daily basis. Um, we have factions within the APC UK&I. We have camps, basically. And people are being aligned with certain camps. What camp do you think is going to win these elections? Or which camp are you supporting?
Well, I'm in Camp APC, and it's Camp APC that is going to win because the election belongs to APC and it's not for any camp. So the election will be won by APC, and I'm in an APC camp because I'm not vying for a position in any camp. I'm vying for a position within the APC. So this thing of people having camp, me for me, it doesn't exist and it's not even important. I know people will have trusted comrades around them. I can understand. But going to the point of creating a camp, then for me, I'm not in any camp. And the only camp before I would have said I'm in will be the youth league camp. But now there's no more youth. So I'm not in the camp. This is why I want to be the deputy chairperson for the London. So I'll be in the London camp. That's what it is. And we'll be
Okay.
doing fundraising now with our fellow regions because that's the only camp I think we can do. Raise money for the party. That is the best camp we can all be in because at the end of the day, it's APC we want back to power.
Well, that would have that was going to be my next question, because the elections, you know, have been again. We've noticed in the past few weeks that they've changed the dates of the elections. And just tonight, I understand that the chairman of the TIIEMC has made an application for an extension again for the elections. So the diaspora elections that we expected to be, I think it was yesterday, has been moved from yesterday to another date, and by tonight it has been moved again. I think to around the 17th or something like that, or the 20th. What is your take? Do you think we will be, we are moving forward as a party?
Yes, we are moving forward because remember, we are working on a court ruling.
Hmm.
So everything we have to do, we need to make sure that we are within the court ruling because we don't want to say we finish and then in the end they be like, no, 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 no. Because we see people making audio says, well, if this is not done, this is not done, this is what's going to happen to APC. But again, this is why I said we are APC. We will try for APC to be in power come 2023. With the dates being moved, we saw the lower level elections, it went through, and then there were a rerun, which
Hmm.
finished, I think, yesterday as well.
Hmm.
So those reruns, the ones that won before, were the same one that won again. So it was just like a waste of time. But again, since we are going through a court ruling, we will still continue because at the end of the day, the APC have decided and have demonstrated they are a law-abiding citizen. They are a law-abiding party. So whatever the court says, they will make sure they go by it. Whatever instruction is given to them, they will make sure they follow it. People are within the APC that wants to have this fragmentation within the party. But again, if you think you are so bigger than the party, please create your own. Please have your own. Take your members with you. But don't be in the APC and think you can come and disrupt everything. It's really, really unfair. It's
So,
really unfair.
so Sweet Bonita, realistically, do you think realistically that we in the UK and Ireland are we prepared for these elections? Are we really prepared? Because at the moment, even as recently, people are still moving positions from one to the other. And it's kind of like, I don't know, the negotiations is going on until the last day, the last hour to the elections. Are we really, really prepared for these elections?
Yes, we are
Realistically?
prepared. And the negotiation is not a bad thing, Comrade Wankesu, because again, we don't want to have this animosity for one another. It's best you are in your position without fighting with somebody than you and somebody will go, okay, you have a banter, and then in the end, they succeed, you don't succeed, you succeed, they don't succeed, and they refuse to work with you. Because if we are all aware that there are more positions that have not even been filled, but people are just saying, no, I want this one. There are other positions that you can go for. And if you see somebody have gone for one, there's take it. And if you think, okay, this person has come to me, you know what, out of respect, out of comradeship, let me step down and do X, Y, and Z. Definitely. As I said, I did that for a senior comrade of mine, and I have very high respect for him, and I'll forever remain because as much as I am younger, he took upon himself to call me and appeal. That alone, I was like, you know what, I won't fight. I won't. And
Wow.
this is the sort of party we need to be in. This is the sort of things we need to do because we are not even getting paid, Comrade Wankasu. We are not even getting paid. We are not getting paid. So why would I have to fight somebody for a position that I'm not getting paid for? Why?
Well, the thing is, Sweet Bonita, people are negotiating for positions every day. People are shifting from one position to the other, one position to the other. The danger here is people have set skills, and when they aspire for a position, I guess it is based on that set skills they have. That's why they apply for that position.
Yes.
When you start negotiating that position by moving from position A to position B, then the purpose of making a change or making an impact in that position where your set skills, you know, appeals to or applies to, then it is just about positioning. People just want to hold position and say, yes, I am this, but not to deliver. Would you agree with that?
Well, again, there are certain positions which you have a set skills for. But again, this is where we're in politics. You will say, okay, this is my comfort zone. Sometimes you need to come out of your comfort zone. And also that's where the comradeship comes in. Because if you know that person is not technically inclined or knowledgeable to their position, if you are, you can always assist. This is why you have the chair and the vice. So let's say if the chair is not au fait of certain things, the deputy should be able, or the section should be able. The deputies. So this is where it's a teamwork. There is no way you will say, "Oh, I'm perfect. I cross all my T's and I dot my I's." It will not happen. One
But,
way or the other, you need help.
but
And
this time around, 2022, 2023, going forward, the APC don't want to put square pegs in round holes. It seems like this is what we're doing. If this man is not fit for this position, let them move. And those who are fit for that position, go there and get it done, rather than pushing someone from the back when they don't have the set skills for it and they're not even probably willing. They just want to sit on that position for the sake of it.
but again, Commodore Ankesu, this is what I would say regarding that. If somebody I know they are not capable or competent of certain position, sometimes you negotiate with the person says, no disrespect, I don't think you can do it, but it's best for you to work in this. If the person adamantly says no, you leave them there. Another person apply for the same position. So you end up finding there are two people there. If let's say 5 or 6 of you know, or let's say if it's 50 people voting and 40 knows that you are definitely not competent, they will not vote you in. It's an election. You applying for it, you saying you will stick, you will not move, will not guarantee you to stay there. Because if you are not voted in, then you will not get the position. That's why you see, like, as I said in the beginning, like, when it comes to the London, you're having 5, 6, 7 because there are so many people and everybody's skills are different. So if I think um Mr. A is not better than Mr. B, Mr. C is more better than, I'm like, Mr. B, what's going on? Mr. C, can you see? It's like, oh yeah, fine. So you have A, B, C, and D. They are there. So they themselves will say, why did I even? I would have just gone over there. This is why again we are seeing most people are moving around because they've been there. They said, no, you can't, and you will not win. And you know, if you have looked at yourself and says, I am able to do this, you will stay put. You won't move. But if you think, no matter what happened, I will not be here, it's better I move somewhere else or I just forget it.
So, Sweet Bonita, comes election day, you aspire for that vice chairman position for the London chapter.
Yeah.
Conduct the elections and Sweet Bonita doesn't win. What you gonna do?
I am still going to be an APC. Nothing is going to change that.
Yeah, but what are you practically going to do? It is not just, you're not going to move obviously to a different political party, but practically, some people are saying, "Oh, I will support," but practically, can you be active as the Sweet Bonita we know now, supporting Owen Kasu, supporting the media team, supporting all the people and the departments that you've been working so diligently for? Would you be doing the same thing?
Yes, I will be. Because again, it's an election. Komodo and Kesu, Sweet Bonita might not become the victorious on that day. What happened? Is that the end of Sweet Bonita? No, it should not be. This is why I say there is no point of me having a very bad campaign against my opponent, and then if they won, I'm not even able to say congratulations with an open mind. And let's say, for example, they come, oh, Sweet Bonita, this one, before we talked about this is what we are supposed to do. And I'm like, oh, that will not be me. What
So,
I have to do, I will do it.
okay,
And we've seen where people are not within the executive, but they have played a tremendous role within the executive.
yeah.
People
So,
are not within certain organization, but they are the cornerstone of that organization. the organization will not move without them. So sometimes not all of us will be the leaders.
Okay.
Somebody else will be, and you should be there to support.
So, Sweet Bonita, in all your political activities, in all your activism, about human rights abuses and the rule of law, what is your regret? What have you regret? What is the thing that's single thing that you have done that you look back in retrospect or in hindsight thinking, oh well, I wish I had the opportunity to, you know, to do it again. I would have done it differently. Tell me
Well,
something.
one of the things I would say maybe I would have said that I regret was not joining the political party earlier on
Okay.
because I joined it very late. So, but again, this is why I want to make sure whilst I'm here to make that positive change
And this APC party is your first political party,
ever in my life. To
and
have registered
and
and
will it
hold
be
a
the last?
party card.
And will it be the last?
Oh, yes, definitely. Because I
Okay.
don't see anything moving me out of APC because what brought me into APC is no longer there. But I'm still, I think I'm more an APCian than even before I was thinking. Because people be like, oh, it's not there. So what's the point? I'm like, I have found family and I
Okay.
think I'm staying.
People sometimes um play the tribal card in politics, and sometimes when people see you speaking Mindi in the platform, they feel very, very happy. They always want to hear from you speaking Mende. And now, because of the tribal divide in the country, people think, Sweet Bonita being Mende, meaning she would eventually end up with SLPP because the tribal card has cut the country right across the middle. So now you have the last opportunity to speak to your voters and convince them why they should vote for Sweet Bonita. And not only that, I would also ask you to speak mandate to your people to support the APC party to win the 2023 June 24 elections. The floor is yours, Sweet Bonita.
Oh, thank you so much. And I'm happy that it came from you. But that was my last statement I was going to make on this platform because, again, for those of you that have always watched me, I always start with my saying, Awana Nyabodesia. It means good day, my people. And this is your child, Sweet Bonita, aka Miata Jopo. And one thing I want to let you know is you will not regret voting me as the deputy chairperson for the London chapter. There's going to be that inclusiveness of everyone within, or what I believe in has nothing to do with tribal lines or regional discrimination. I have worked with people from all over Sierra Leone, and I am proud to say I am Mende, or I speak Mende fluently as how I speak English. And sometimes it will be one of those things that people will say, if we have to go to the south, we have a southeasterner to represent us, and I will be there. And I'm not here as a southeastern. I'm here as a true APCN that believe in the ideology of our party. Because if it wasn't for that, there is no point of me being here. I have come to understand and respect the people that I've met within the APC. They have embraced me with two open hands, and I am grateful to be here. I would first of all like to say a very big thank you to all my comrades from the youth wing, especially Putloko Bobo, John Kanu Arun Pepe, and I go up to my leaders, Malcolm Conte and Adams Bangura. Thank you so much. Indeed, the youth wing was an institution for aspiring politicians. This is one of the politicians that are coming up taking up a mainstream politics, because with your help, with your guidance and instructions that are followed, this is why I am where I am today. And to my Southeastern people, this is your daughter, your friend, your comrade, your child, Miata. When it comes to political party, it's not about our tribal lines or regional lines. It's about our conviction for our country. It is good for us to come together to build a better nation. If the way the current administration is going to divide the country, Southeast, we will suffer more. Where would we be landing? We don't even have a airfield. The one in Bo, we all know is not fit for purpose. I don't know when last it was used. But I'm speaking to the people in Bo, Kenema, Kailang, Pujo, Moyamba, and also the Bunt. The chief will make a law when they are happy. That same law turns round and they'll be like, this was not what we were envisioning for. We had the PR system. We had it before. The former president, Shakapi Stephen, exercised it very well. And it became a tormentor in our country. It's the same PR system today. Mother Bio wants to forcefully choke down our throat in Sierra Leone. But I'm appealing to everyone. Come the 24th of June 2023, we should make sure that the SFPP administration do not take governance in that country. I had another Sierra Leonean said, for all positions that their parliamentarians will apply or get, when after the election, most of them will just resign because they will know that they will not be in the position to work in our country. I'm appealing to all my Southeasterners. Let's forget about our tribe, because sometimes somebody says nyadi nyadi, but another day your relative is not doing the right thing. Would you still stand by your relative? We need to support our country. Most of you know I'm an activist, and it doesn't give me a boundary to say I'm only doing this against. No, I don't. I do it for every Sierra Leoneans because we are all important. Every lives matter. Sierra Leone lives matter. And that is something that we should always do. I want you to believe and also count on me that when I am elected as the vice chairperson for the London chapter, definitely there will be good things for us within our London branch, within the APC, because it will be victory for all and victory for us going to 2023 general election, June 24. Comrades all, friends and family, this is your daughter, Comrade SweetBonita. I'm appealing to you when our election comes, because for now there is no date. Don't forget to vote for SweetBonita as the next vice chairperson for the London chapter. Go will on your bodesia. Wakba wa kwegula. Apie mukula APC June 24, 2023. APC mi anyade gotowa saweb. Jifa siamele hinda yeklete limu lwenava. Ge udilo we mufpie SPP va. Bote pia. Hake kpe ba baga. Bogbe gbina. Moya gumama. Bago bedebe yeji ha. Alhamdulillah. Fogbe subhanallah. Tunugawa aga padembaro. Tunugawa makeni. Tunugawa tumbo. Tunugawa lonsha. Tunugawa kabala. Nasi meleku tulwima. Hinda yekena setali tanugawa. August 10. Titunugawa. Even August 14. Battle we alai makeni. Ti tugu huwe tukpade ubutugava. Te bade yege ya. Ana wodi mi awolu mi himia we ko la avi atie. Hinda gbe mo apie dunya mugi mo ke mo be ayamamuma. Mu ibresina mo de anage ye kogo tami awa a kelema. Nya bodesia nya wu manenema. Wule mugo mu wa agoya. Mu wa amopati back APC governance Jiwati Afo June 24 2023 go we lo uva we nya bode si go bo mo kwema and go kweba. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to say thank you, and I'm appealing to every Sierra Leonean come the 24th of June 2023 when we go to that our voting station. Please, we vote for the mighty APC. It's only the APC that will make sure that Sierra Leone are well looked after, well protected, because we've seen with this administration within their 5 years they have not been able to achieve anything. Everything that made them to come into governance was propaganda, and they think propaganda will make them to stay. It will not happen. Absolutely, it will not happen. This is Sweet Bonita, the hopeful aspirant for the London chapter deputy vice chair. Good evening, all.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Comrades, ladies and gentlemen, that was the voice of Sweet Bonita. It sends shivers down my spine listening to this. Thank you for this. This is a blaster. I think we should try and capture this and just circulate this all over social media so the message will go far and wide. Thank you very much for the time you took to come here and speak to us about yourself and the message you sent out to those people who are the potential voters to vote for you, and not only you, to also vote for APC come June 24th. With me, Comrade Owen Kasu, and the production team, I want to say thank you to you and all the viewers of this wonderful program, the upfront one-to-one interview with Comrade Owen Kasu. Thank you. Bye-bye.